This is the Retirement Key Podcast with Abe Abich, founder of Abich Financial Services.
How many streams of income do you need to have the security that you want in your retirement? We're going to unpack this. This is Abe Abich, financial advisor, founder of Abich Financial Services. I'm Heather Branch, here to ask Abe questions just like this and get some information and insight about the things that matter to you in your retirement, like a proper retirement income plan. At Abich Financial Services, this is what they're helping folks figure out every day. They are here to help you with as well. TheRetirementKey.com is where you can go to start the conversation with Abe and his team. You can also click on the links we've got posted in the show notes. So this all comes around to, I love an analogy, a good analogy to give us some visual, some insight here, Abe. And you and Shelly actually, you guys just finished a whole renovation project. You were able to purchase a condo down in Charleston, Isle of Palms. Very exciting.
Yep, that's right.
But the condo was built back in the 80s, 90s.
It
80s.
was.
Yeah.
It was. It needed a lot of work. Done to it.
And probably because Kyle and I, my husband and I, we bought a fixer-upper when we first got married, and the understanding of this is not to code, this isn't because they don't make it upon the original owner when laws and codes change, but when you become the new owner, you gotta start changing everything as far as what works. And one of the conversations that Kyle and I were having with our contractor was about, well, you guys need a whole bunch more smoke detectors. And the things you will learn in a renovation process. So thinking about how many smoke detectors you have in your house, how many do you need? Most people might say, well, one on every floor, right? Oh, no, sir. The list from the National Fire Protection Association recommends this is where you need the smoke detectors. You need one in every bedroom. Then you need one outside each sleeping area, as well as one on every level of the house. So just do the quick, and your basement and a finished attic. So you do the quick math on that. That's quickly going to turn into 5, if not 10 smoke detectors in most houses, right?
Yep.
And it's all about creating security around our home and protecting what we have worked so hard to get, aka our house. It's not unlike what we have to strategize for our retirement plan. And how do we create security and confidence for ourselves in this space, which is what I wanted to ask you about. If we need 5 to 10 smoke detectors to keep our house safe, how many streams of income do we need in our retirement to keep our retirement more secure?
Yeah. Maybe about the same. Definitely don't want to rely on one stream, right? Like, can you imagine if you just had Social Security and that was your sole source of income, then you're fully dependent on the Social Security program to give you that income for the rest of your life? Well, it might be there, it might not, right? Or if you just had Social Security and a big pile of money, like a 401k, and it was all in stocks, maybe it was just in a few companies. We believe it or not, we've seen this from time to time where someone has a lot of Oracle or IBM or Microsoft or Tesla or NVIDIA stock. And, sometimes someone's whole retirement and life savings is from those 3 to 5 companies, 10 companies. Yeah. And all the income in retirement has to come from those companies, and you're dependent on what those companies are going to do and how they're going to perform. Man, so much risk there.
Yeah.
By the way, all those smoke alarms are super helpful. They can save our lives. Aren't they a lot of fun when those batteries go off? And
because they are all connected to each other now, they all start ringing like
oh my
choirs.
Goodness. And when they usually go off, it's like at 2 or 3 a.m. You're in a deep sleep and you're like, what the heck is going on right now? Is there a fire, or has this battery just
this
gone?
Actually happened to me once at our old house. I don't know where Kyle was, but I was at home. I was in the shower. Have you ever seen anybody running out of the shower, like shampoo still? Like, and I just came, you just grab the towel and you come, I'm running around the house just like looking for it, because I was, like I said, I was in the shower. Kyle was there. I was like, where is there a fire? I was losing my mind. It ended up being a false alarm, but thankfully, it was crazy.
Yeah. It's always a scene, I'll tell you that, between Shelly and I, finding the ladders to get up there. And oh my goodness, it could be
the dogs barking.
If only someone could see that on video.
No, please, never. I never need that. I never need that exposed of me. That state.
Well, those smoke alarms are important, and so is having, we believe, multiple streams of income in retirement. Again, you wouldn't just want Social Security income in retirement. You wouldn't just really want income coming from a 401k or one IRA that's like heavily dependent on your investments to perform.
Yeah.
Instead, when I see the most comprehensive plans here at Abich, when I see people who have done by far the best in terms of accumulating assets and having a well-diversified plan, the income is very diversified because the assets are diversified, right?
Okay.
They might have several real estate properties or more where they have thousands of dollars a month or more coming in just from rental income, which can kind of act like an annuity, right? Or a pension. Now, real estate isn't guaranteed. It's not. So the income coming from the real estate properties isn't guaranteed. But most of the time, we usually do have a tenant in there if we have a rental property, right? Mm-hmm. So that rental income can be very dependable and predictable. Yep. And then you've got the real estate properties as a nice asset for you to take advantage of tax-wise and have those assets grow. Then, of course, we'll all have Social Security. That's a nice guaranteed income check that we should have, hopefully inflation adjusted and things like that for the rest of our lives, hopefully without benefits being reduced and things like that, which I think will be the case. If someone then has a pension, a true pension from like the government, if they're a federal employee, former military, teacher, state employee, you add that on top of Social Security, maybe some rental income, man, we could have a nice floor of predictable, guaranteed, dependable, reliable income where every single month on the same day, no matter what the stock market's doing, that check is hitting the bank account.
Yeah.
That is so nice to see.
Yeah.
And so, some people are going to have pensions. A lot of people won't have pensions, but typically we're all going to have Social Security. We may or may not have rental, income from rental real estate. If not, you've got your primary home. And then typically what most people have, or most of our clients and what most people across the DC metro area have that we see is $2, $3, $4, $5 million of investments in 401ks, IRAs, cash, and things like that. Mm-hmm. Obviously, all of those assets can generate income as well. So let's kind of go through the list of common income streams we see. We've already talked about Social Security.
Yep.
And while Social Security likely won't cover all of your retirement expenses, it can help create part of that income foundation and floor I was just mentioning. And obviously, there's a lot that goes into Social Security and making sure you make the right decision around it. Mm-hmm. The longer you wait, the higher the benefit, but you want to run the numbers and figure out what's best for you. Waiting till 70 may not be best for you if you've retired at 65 and you really need or want the income. So Social Security is going to be there, and that could be a big source of retirement income for you. Annuities can also play a part in foundational, strong, reliable, sometimes guaranteed income and retirement. So if you think about, you've gotten to retirement, maybe you're 65, you've got $3 or $4 million saved, you don't have a pension, you've got Social Security, you don't have rental income. So let's just say you're watching this podcast right now, listening to this podcast, and you've got Social Security for you and your spouse, or just you.
Yeah.
And then the money you've saved for retirement in addition. Mm-hmm. Well, let's say it's $3 million, right? If you are a 60-40, right, or a 70-30, let's just say you're a 60-40. You've got $3 million. Let's just do the math on this real quick to make sure I have it right.
Okay.
$3 million. You're a 60-40.
60%
that would mean
stocks,
that you would
40% bonds. Okay.
Yep. That would mean you would want about $1.8 million in stocks, in growth-focused investments, ETFs, stocks, whatever it is, something that's going to get you a good return for the risk you're taking. Mm-hmm. But the other $1.2 million should be more safely invested, more conservatively invested. Maybe it is in bonds, fixed income, could be in structured notes, could be in annuities. And if it is in an annuity, whether it's an income annuity or maybe it's a growth annuity, either way, if it's a non-stock market investment that's principal protected, say you got $1 million in it, if it's going to make 4% over the rest of its life, 5% over the rest of its life, you got $1 million in the thing, you should be able to generate $40,000 to $50,000 of reliable, dependable, maybe guaranteed income for the rest of your life, depending on the type of annuity and the features it provides.
Okay.
Well, if you've got Social Security, let's just say, you're that couple or someone that's single, $3 million. You've got Social Security at maybe, $36,000 a year, right? $3,000 a month.
Okay.
You need $100,000 a year coming in, so you've got a $64,000 gap.
Right.
You say, Abe, I've got $3 million. I'm a 60-40. We'd recommend 1.8 in the markets, 1.2 in something safer. Mm-hmm. That 1.2 million might be able to generate $40,000 to $50,000 in safe income, what we would call safe income, that can sit on top of your Social Security. Mm-hmm. And now you're at 76 to, what is that, 86,000, somewhere in there, of the $100,000 you need that's not stock market dependent. Now, We can use the other $1.8 million to create the additional $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 you might need. Maybe you want a surplus. That's kind of how you want to start thinking is, hey, all of my income shouldn't come from one source or one stream. Social Security, income annuities, you might have some money in CDs, bonds, treasuries that right now, as at the time of this recording, might be paying 3.5%, 4%. It's okay.
Yeah.
Dividend stocks. You think of companies like IBM, Home Depot, Johnson & Johnson, AT&T, Verizon, Comcast, dividend payers, value-based companies like those should oftentimes be in a portfolio. Maybe the dividend is 3 or 4%, pretty healthy dividend. Mm-hmm. You want growth in retirement. You also want and need income. So dividend stocks can play a role. And then obviously systematic withdrawals from the rest of your savings. It might be 401ks, Roth IRAs. Maybe you, again, have a few $1,000,000 in there and you've got ETFs and mutual funds and things like that. If you're making a decent return, you should be able to withdraw a decent amount out. And so that can be another source of income. And then finally, we've talked about this on the show before. Yeah. You might want to just continue to work. And you might be in a position where you're in your 60s, you're really done working full time, but now you're contracting, you're consulting. And based on your experience, you can get hired to work 5 hours a week, 30 hours a week, and you're making $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 a year in just part-time consulting.
Yep.
That can really, really help you. All that cash flow coming in, not from the portfolio. The portfolio continues to grow until you really need it. All that income coming in, you can continue to max out 401ks. You can live off of that income, maybe wait on taking Social Security.
It's good for your health too. Keep your brain active. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Physical and mental health. So if your health permits, working later in life or maybe just working a few more years can really help to get that portfolio to a new level to give you that added peace of mind, that added confidence so that when you fully pull the trigger and fully retire, whenever that is, you have as much confidence as possible heading into phase 2 and the rest of your life.
Yeah. Well, obviously, helping people have that confidence, that's the goal of you and your entire team at Abich Financial Services. As much confidence as possible heading to retirement, building out a retirement income plan. TheRetirementKey.com is where to go to start the conversation with Abe and his team. Also want to remind folks about your book, The Retirement Mountain, The 7 Steps to a Long-Lasting Retirement. And in Chapter 11, develop a retirement income plan and roadmap. And it's funny, the idea about needing an income is so core, so key to every plan you build. But all the things that had to happen in the pages leading up to Chapter 11, when we finally get to the income plan, still, it is the foundation of every plan you build. Let's talk about the book, because we obviously want to get it into people's hands, work to empower them with information. It is an easy and quick read into that. Thank you. Because a lot of financial literature that's available to us, Abe, is so complex and confusing. We're looking for clarity, not more confusion. So what can people expect to learn from the book?
So this book, The Retirement Mountain, The 7 Steps to a Long-Lasting Retirement, was written mainly for people who are approaching retirement, who have not yet retired. If they've retired, it can still be helpful. But for that person, for that couple out there, for that family who has worked hard for 30 to 40 years, maybe 50 years to save. They've got the savings, but they don't know how to protect it, preserve it. They don't know how to generate income, how to protect themselves from all the risks that can happen as you descend down your own retirement mountain. And studies show that coming down the mountain, like let's just say you have a mountain climber, 80% of all mountain climbing accidents happen on the way down the mountain, on the descent. And if you think about your wealth, you've worked your entire life to build it. One bad stock market year or a couple bad stock market years followed by maybe higher taxes or something like that could destroy a great savings plan. It could, you think about 2008. Imagine if you had a 2008, 3 years, 5 years into retirement and you don't have the right plan set up. You don't have enough principal protection in your plan. You don't have places to go when the markets are really bad and volatile. Just thinking along those lines, right? Again, think about it for yourself. You've worked for 40 to 50 years. You're 65. You need to get this money to last for the next 30 years. This book can help you do just that.
Well, again, we just want to empower you with information. So you can purchase the book on Amazon.com. We've got links posted in the show notes, or you can download a PDF version, a free copy of the version. Is the audiobook
the audiobook and Audible is ready now and available. Nice. So if you go to Amazon, it's there.
Yeah.
Yep. And if you go to our website and go to the retirementkey.com, click on the media page, I believe, and then the book link.
Yeah.
You can choose whether you just want an e-PDF, you want to buy the book, buy the Audible.
Yeah. There's lots of ways to get the information to you, which is what Abe is just looking to do, empower you with education and information about your money, your savings, your future. So again, questions about an income strategy, questions about all the other things, just getting a copy of the book, theretirementkey.com, or click on the links we got posted in the show notes, and let's get to work helping you have this confidence as you get closer to retirement. theretirementkey.com.
Thanks for listening to the Retirement Key Podcast with Abe Abich. To learn more about Abich Financial Services, visit theretirementkey.com and join Abe for his radio show, The Retirement Key, Saturdays at 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 8 a.m., 2 p.m., and 5 p.m. Abish Financial Wealth Management is a registered investment advisor with the SEC. Registration as an investment advisor does not imply a certain level of skill or training, and the content of this communication has not been approved or verified by the United States Securities and Exchange Commission or by any state securities authority. The information contained in this material is intended to provide general information about Abish Financial Wealth Management and its services. It is not intended to offer investment advice. Investment advice will only be given after a client engages our services by executing the appropriate investment services agreement. Information regarding investment products and services are provided solely to read about our investment philosophy and our strategies.